Hello, this is Evangelist Dr. Robert L. McKim Sr. from Carrollton, Ohio. I want to play some more of this video here of Johnson Kahn with Jim Bakker from a few years ago, talking about the truth of the birth of Jesus Christ. Because we're coming into that time of, the year when we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ on December 25th. But in reality, he wasn't born in December, wasn't born in the winter, he was born in the spring, the time when lambings... Okay, I want to show you something. Hang on, if I can find it. If I can find that. I had something saved here. You can Google, well, you can go, not to Google, whatever search engine you use, and look up when lambs are born, or the birth of lambs. And it will tell you that naturally, lambs are born only in the springtime. Now, with human intervention, in other words, humans getting involved nowadays, like they are in like artificial insemination of livestock, and now lambs can be born any time of the year, but naturally, lambs are only born in the springtime because of the fact that is when, well, I had it saved here on my computer because I looked up the information. I don't remember where exactly I put it. I know how to find it. Hang on a second. I'm looking for that information. Okay, here it's called domestic sheep reproduction. Actually, that's what it's called. It's called domestic sheep reproduction, and it says right here that as with other mammals, domestic sheep reproduction occurs, sexually. Their reproductive strategy is very similar to other domestic herd animals. A flock of sheep is generally mated by a single ram, which has either been chosen by a farmer or has been established dominance through physical contest with other rams. And it says right here, most sheep have a breeding season topping in the autumn, though some are able to breed year-round. largely as a result of the influence of humans in sheep breeding. Ewes, or EWES, ewes, often produce multiple lambs. This increases the lamb births, both in number and birth weight, may cause problems in in delivery and lamb survival, requiring the intervention of shepherds. Now, there is something here I wanted to show you. I also found right here. After mating, sheep have a gestation period of around 5 months. So if they mate in the autumn, which is, around in the fall, 5 months later, which would be in the springtime, is when the lambs are born. But again, what do I know? All I know is what I'm being taught the truth, and I'm preaching the truth. If you want to believe whatever you want to believe in, well, here's some more truth right here.
Messiah, so the Passover lamb dies on Passover. Messiah is the Passover lamb. He dies on Passover, but it's also born at the time of Passover. That's Nisan, spring. So Messiah, if the Passover lamb is born at the same time when it dies. So that's the next clue. And so the next thing is the holy day. Next clue is the holy days of Israel. And here, what does that have to do with this mystery? Well, the central events of Messiah's life and his time on earth, they all take place on Hebrew holy days. I mean, and we'll start. And one people don't even realize Palm Sunday. The first thing is he's going to his passion, getting on that dock, going there. That's a Hebrew holiday. People don't realize the first Hebrew holiday ever given to Israel was Palm Sunday, and where it is, it doesn't say Palm Sunday. It's in Exodus 12 when it says, "Take a lamb on the 10th day of the month. You'll take the lamb. You'll keep it for 4 days. You'll take the lamb to your house." That's called the 10th of Nisan. The first command given to Israel to continually keep, the 10th of Nisan, is the day of the lamb. The day that they take the lamb to their house, keep it there until the time of the sacrifice. So what happens? The 10th of Nisan, count back from the Last Supper as Passover, the 14th, 15th of Nisan, go back, you are at Palm Sunday. Palm Sunday is the 10th of Nisan. It's the first Hebrew day ever given, and it's the day that they are actually, that when he's coming to Jerusalem, they're all taking the lambs to their house. God is taking the Lamb of God to his house on the day of the lamb being taken to the house.
Oh my!
It's all there.
Really
and the first thing in this, the first command ever given to Israel to go was, think about this, was take the lamb. In Hebrew, you can translate it, accept the lamb, receive the lamb. The first command he gives to the Jewish people is accept the lamb. And when they fulfill that first commandment, it's all, the age is complete. But that was the very first command, and that was the day. And it also can be even translated, seize the lamb. He comes into Jerusalem, he's going to be seized. But so all the lambs, he's watching them come in, and he is coming as the Lamb of God. God is moving him, getting ready for the sacrifice on the same day. I mean, God is so perfect, so perfect. So everything, that's just one. I didn't even mean to share on that. That's one. Beautiful. And the thing is that, and then when does he die? He dies on the other Hebrew holy day, which is Passover, the Lamb. When does he rise? He rises on the other Hebrew holy day. We can do a whole thing on this. The Feast of First Fruit, the day of the first fruit, when the first fruit is lifted up from the earth as the new life after the new life of God, he is raised up as the first fruit. Paul even says it's on the day of the first fruit. Everything happens. Then you think, what's the next great event of the church? It's Pentecost. Pentecost is a Jewish holiday. People don't realize that. Pentecost Pentecost is Shavuot in Hebrew. Do you know that the word Pentecost is a Jewish word that those same Greek rabbis who came up with the tower, calling it the come let us build a tower, they're the same ones who came up with the name Pentecost. And Pentecost is a Jewish holiday. In fact, there are some Orthodox Jews will know that they're celebrating Pentecost. They were the first Pentecostals because they're celebrating that. Moses was the Pentecostal. He told them to celebrate this, and in Greek it's Pentecost 50 days. In Hebrew it's Feast of Weeks, same thing. So everything happens on a Hebrew holiday of his life. His death, his resurrection, so of course his birth. God is very accurate and absolute. It's going to happen on a significant holy day of Israel. So the question is, which one? It begins in the springtime. The first feast is Passover. The age begins with Passover, Messiah on the cross. And it ends with tabernacles, when God will come down and tabernacle. And so we can do a whole thing on this, but the whole age is that. So when would he be born prophetically? It's not going to be in the autumn. That's the second coming. Got to be in the spring again. It all points back to the spring. And it points back to this month called Nisan, which means the beginning. The month means the beginning. That's what it means. That's when it all begins. So, and everything he does in order. Palm Sunday, he does it according to those days. So if you count back, you got resurrection in the Nisan, you got Passover, 15th of Nisan, you got Palm Sunday, 10th of Nisan. You only have a few more days from the beginning that this is going to happen. So it's narrowing it down now to the very first days of Nisan. And so now the next clue. Every time he fulfills a holy day, he doesn't just fulfill the time, the theme of that day, he fulfills it. For instance, Passover, he dies as the Passover lamb. First fruits, he rises. So everything has to do with that. Is there any day on the Hebrew calendar that would match up with birth, new beginning, new everything? There is one day, and it happens to be in Nisan. And the one day is Nisan 1, which is the very beginning of the Hebrew year, the very day that begins everything. And this is the day that is the real New Year, though most Jewish people think Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah, Rosh Hashanah.
It's not. The real New Year of God is Nisan 1. Now the thing about Nisan 1 is, you don't have to be in Jerusalem. There's no command to be in Jerusalem, yet it's a holy day, so Joseph could be there at that time. And think about this. It's the day that begins the calendar. It changes the calendar. The old calendar is gone. The new calendar begins. What does Messiah's birth do when he comes to this world? He changes the calendar. The whole calendar is changed BC AD, and there's one day on the Hebrew calendar that matches that, and that's Nisan 1. It's the calendar changer. But now we're going to even go deeper. We're going to go to the moon now. Okay, we go for the moon.
Okay, well, I'm not going to go to the moon right now. I just wanted to touch base a little bit more on this video here. Like I said, there's over 30 minutes of this video, and I've only touched base on basically a little less than 10 minutes. I wanted to talk here more about something. I think I'm getting a phone call, so I'm going to have to get off here. God bless you. Have a blessed day.